Hey, we are Dr. Shane and Liz Watt, and welcome to the Be Healthy Naturally podcast.
We are doing this podcast because we are trying to bring knowledge and education to create a new way of thinking about our health.
Knowledge is the key to live a happy, healthy life, and our goal is to help you live your best life.
Thank you for being on this journey with us, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Karen ZuZu Ziemer Armes is a holistic health educator, author, and speaker known for her practical, science-backed approach to restoring vibrant health. After reversing her own epilepsy, scoliosis, and arthritis, she has spent decades empowering others through education. She has led 2,500 plus seminars and authored 4 books. ZuZu is co-founder of Holistic Health Educator and Lilly Retreat Center, serving 45,000 plus globally with a focus on gut health, energy, and longevity. So, Karen, what do you want us to call you?
Welcome to one of our most favorite people in the world.
I love you, I love you. I love your guts.
Do you want us to call you Karen or ZuZu on this?
Hello, I always go by ZuZu. Can't be Karen anymore, thank goodness. I had a really cool nickname, but anyhow, yeah.
But we've known you for too long. You're still Karen to us.
I'm still Karen, I know.
Even though you're a good Karen, not
yes,
a bad
my
Karen.
husband calls me Special K, and I'm like, stop it. Stop, whatever.
Special K that you probably never even eat.
I took a picture with the box one time because of him, but no.
So Karen has been with us and Be Healthy Utah ever since the very beginning.
2019.
Yep, and
Yes.
we met her at another conference, and we just enjoyed listening to her, and we're like, holy cow, she is awesome. We need to invite her to ours. And sure enough, she got on board, and she's just been a great supporter of Be Healthy Utah. But Karen, I always tell people about Karen. I said, sorry, ZuZu.
I don't care what you call me. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, you know what, Lee, she is so brilliant. She is so smart. We could literally give her a subject on anything, and she could do a discourse for us at the conference because you are just so brilliantly intelligent. So we love you and are so grateful.
And people
for
love
what you
your
do.
presentations too.
Yeah, you're so full of energy and fun, and just, it's always a good time.
We have a lot of fun. The human body is amazing, and are we not supposed to be celebrating life with it? And even though we all go through hard times, we all have trials, but we have an inner intelligence in every single cell in our body. And I don't think people realize these incredible computers that we call microbiome that are, all of our massed, complex, divine handiwork when it comes to the nervous system, the microbiome, the endocrine system, and how cells function. I just think it's a day to celebrate every day. So lots to learn and lots to share. And I love Be Healthy Utah. Love it. I love what we created.
And I didn't realize that you had cured your own epilepsy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize is that how you kind of started your whole thing into the natural world?
Yeah, it was.
I know
yeah.
you've been doing it forever. You've had health food stores. You've had stuff forever. So tell us just a quick tidbit about that. I didn't know that was what you did.
Yeah, I had grown up with epilepsy, so I had 3 medications. And when I had gotten married and I wanted to have a baby, and I didn't want to have 3 medications running through the veins of my child. And so I started reading books. Of course, back then you are old too, so you can remember there was no World Wide Web. So it was actually going to a library and studying and reading. And anyhow, I researched quite a bit on the nervous system and epilepsy, and I changed my diet. And I was actually able to completely reverse my epilepsy through food. Now I know, because I've been doing this for decades, that it was a GABA deficiency, and actually most epilepsy is. And so GABA deficiency, GABA being one of the main neurotransmitters our body makes, and the GABA controls all the electricity in the body. And I know you know that, Dr. Watt, because this is what you do, but I don't know how many thousands of people I've been able to help reverse their epilepsy or their Tourette's, stop seizures, just from understanding it's a GABA deficiency. So it was really cool.
So I got a question for you, because the new thing is now POTS, but a lot of that's coming around because of the jab, right?
It sure is, honey.
Are you finding similar things with that as well?
Oh yeah. POTS is, and it's really interesting because I'm sure, I know you both remember, but when our youngest daughter, Lilly, had gotten really sick.
Well, she had some crazy stuff for a long time, and I know it was just frustrating for you because you went through everything trying to figure stuff out with her.
Yes, it was 4.5 years of medical doctors, naturopathic doctors in our country, out of our country, anybody I could talk to, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with her. And then after about 4.5 years, we figured out, I heard the word dysautonomia. I'm like, what's dysautonomia? And so I researched dysautonomia, and it was an incurable disease of the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and people just died in the 1800s. And I'm like, and not under my watch. Well, guess what? POTS is a form of dysautonomia. So now all these people are aware of dysautonomia, EDS, all these different forms of, and POTS is the largest form that people recognize right now, but it's actually part of what's called dysautonomia. Dysautonomia is the autonomic nervous system doesn't function. And it's right, you can't cure it, but you can get it to a point where you can live a very normal life. So she's not bedridden at all. Actually, we just came home late last night from a trip, and she went on mountain coasters and tubing and just had a great time. But her autonomic nervous system will just stop. She'll just stop breathing. Her heart will literally just stop, and she can't breathe. It's just crazy. Anything automatic in the body. But this is a huge thing that GABA is helpful with. GABA is helpful for everybody dealing with POTS, because when we can't control the electricity in the body, there's so much that GABA plays a role in. But here is the coolest thing, and this brings it right back to COVID. What did we use? During the jab, right? What did we do? We were all using antibacterial everything. Well, not me, of course. I'm probably not you.
Yeah, but everyone was doing the antibacterial soap, hand washing.
Yes.
I mean, everything. Yeah.
Yes, and
so
do
they
you know
destroyed their microbiome.
Microbiome. Do you know what, Shane and Liz? GABA is produced in the gut, but in order for GABA to be produced, you need a very diverse microbiome in the gut. Well, we just killed it all off using antibacterial everything. So anybody listening, please get rid of all that crap. You don't need any of that. You just need vinegar and some water. But anyhow, and research what you can do at home with essential oils. But literally, we destroyed the microbiome of everyone on the planet. And now POTS, epilepsy, seizures, all these random crazy neurological disorders are showing up. And they're, oh, you just have POTS. Oh, you just have POTS. Oh, you just have, no, you have severe issues with the nervous system now. And we're not out there saying, hey, stop eating sugar, stop eating grain, because it's only going to make it worse. So it is interesting that GABA, that main neurotransmitter that we need to help regulate all the electricity in the body, is dependent on a diverse microbiome. And in the gut, we can only have that diverse microbiome depending on the diversity of our fibers. And so eating salads, and tonight I have a huge class. I have a class on a cooking class on salads and salad dressing, so people actually eat their salads, because you can make them super fast and easy in your blender, and they taste amazing. You'll all want to eat salads every day, 3 meals a day, when you learn how to make a salad dressing that's healthy for you. So yes, you hit it on the head.
That's our next food demo right there.
I love it. Salad dressing. Let's do it.
Actually, that would be actually a pretty good one, to be honest, because you want to eat healthy, but sometimes you need to add a little bit to it to make it taste so well, right?
So April 2027, is that what I'm hearing? April 2027 salad demo. Let's do it.
That's right. Yes, because sadly you're not going to be able to be with us in November in St. George, which we feel bad, but we understand you have a very busy schedule, so we know that you have other things that you have to do.
You're just too famous, Karen.
Yeah. So before we get going, I want you to give a little bit of plug on your on the things that you're doing right now in terms of Lilly Fields. Can you just kind of share what that is?
Yeah, you bet. So Holistic Health Educators, that's our main platform. That's our School of Natural Medicine, and it's online. And our school is now available in 100 different languages. It's totally crazy. We have students all over the world. It's so incredible. And Lilly Fields, we founded as the retreat center. So Lilly Fields is a retreat center that we're definitely building up. We've definitely had a lot of fun. We renovated the buildings that are on the property, and now we're looking at building new buildings and adding a lot. So it's a place where people can come. We've actually had many clinical retreats where people come and they eat our food, and we do all their live blood cell analysis. We do, urine analysis. We do blood work. We do the full ultrasound of the body, thermal imaging, whatever we have, all the equipment we have, lots of it. And then they live 10 days doing saunas and HBOTs and, different therapies. And then we get to look at their blood afterwards. And of course they feel amazing and they can't wait to go home and live their life. So those are the clinical retreats, and I actually we made a really big shift just this last month or so. Even though the clinical retreats are wonderful and they'll be available in the future, we have had people come and stay for like 6 weeks just to get well. So they'll come with a dis-ease of the body and they'll stay on the property, and it's been really neat. But our change, I don't love biohacking. Oh my gosh, did someone in the health world just say that? Yeah, I'm so sick of all the biohacking conventions out there and all the money that people are feeling they need to drop on equipment when it should be kitchen hacking events. And I think, but there's no money in a healthy person. There isn't. There's only money in sick people. And I think what we have seen, the epidemic.
And we've noticed that from the pharmaceutical, but it's actually true. I mean, let's be honest. In my profession as a chiropractor, most people come to me because of pain. They don't come because, hey, I want to keep my nervous system functioning optimal. So I kind of rely on people not feeling well in order to come in. That's the reality.
You do, and you are still the original. Let's get you lined up, because the divine is spine, but the spine is divine, right? We need to keep the curvature of the back. We need to stop all the subluxations. That you're the number one people we recommend. All of my clients go to chiropractors when they're done seeing me, and they need to, but they don't need to go spend $10,000, $50,000, $25,000, $2,500 on all of the devices unless they actually need to. I wish they would put that into gardening.
I said, look at this, Karen. It's like, those devices weren't here before, right? No. And they are tools, but often what happens is we want to live this life that, eating bad, not exercising, whatever, and hoping that this other biohacking tool will make up the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's like we never had those before. And so what can we get back to? What is the most natural form for us to heal?
I don't know. I do like my shockwave at my office, my stem wave.
I love your shockwave. I have an EMS Pro. I love it. Yeah, I love some of the equipment we have, but I'm saying this, all you're seeing now is we're going more, it's almost like we took all the money that people were spending on their insurances and in Western medicine, and we're just turning it now to all these little supplements that some cute little lady with big breasts is TikToking all about and getting paid to do that. Like, all of a sudden we're just taking our money and we're putting it over to another pill. Like, everybody that has to rely on a pill or a device, and they're not being shared. And again, I'm with you, Dr. Watt and Shane and Liz. I love the equipment we have in our center, but I don't want to be that's what people have to use. And I remember opening up my first health food store and clinic in Wisconsin back in 2008. And I remember we specialized in breast care. So we worked with a lot of people who had breast cancer, thousands, right? But they would come in, so many women would come in, and Liz, I know you can relate to this because you've written books on this stuff too. They would come in and they're like, okay, I don't want to change my diet, so we had like light therapy and all these different therapies. And I woke up one day, I'm like, I'm not offering this anymore. No, if they're not willing to change their diet, I am not willing to work with them. And I literally got rid of the equipment because I didn't want to attract any more women who were going to come to me who wouldn't change their stupid diet, and they wanted to lay there on a bed and get all their light treatments and all their treatments and blah, 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 and then go home and eat the same crap. And I'm being really bold. Sorry if you want to delete this and not use this, you don't have to, but I'm like, you have to start in the kitchen. Like, our willingness to change actually has to become internal. So those of you who don't want to change your diet, don't expect some incredible result, because you can use all this equipment and get rid of cancer once, but you will be getting rid of it a second time and a third time and a fourth time, unless you change the diet, unless you change what's going into the body, because minerals are the sparks of life. Like, we need to eat healthy food. We need biophotons. We need to build our enzymes, which are built out of amino acids, which only come from plants. And so I think, even though it's an exciting time with all the fancy equipment coming out, and if everybody's loaded, great, go buy all of your equipment, but you're going to be literally using it the rest of your life, because you'll become dependent on it, because you won't change the one thing that is getting you sick. Now, I will put a disclosure out there. We are living in an extremely electrical world, and it is dangerous. It has literally become very dangerous. I'm looking at studies right now on the danger of like what 3D did to the microbiome, what 4G did to the microbiome, what 5G is doing to the microbiome. What are we doing in this microwaved environment, which we all live in now, called cell towers? What are we actually doing to the computers that make us us? And that is our microbiome. That is our cell matrix. And I just want to put a little plug out there to go get some cabbage and some carrots and fry it with some onions in the morning for breakfast. Like let's start getting back into some of these fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds that God put on this beautiful, amazing earth before any animal or human could live here. He didn't put us here with machinery. We didn't end up in a McDonald's parking lot or a pharmaceutical parking lot.
It's really is like everything that we have to heal does come from the earth. And that's where we first focus on, and that's where, with our conference and stuff, that's what we kind of try to gear towards, is that our bodies are made to heal. We just need to find the right environment, and that doesn't necessarily mean the next pill or the next machine. It's like figuring out, our food. We always hear food is our medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that is where we very first should start with, is our food and the foods that we put onto our plate. And when I got really sick, it was actually fermentation was my very first step to pull me back, to be able to, at the time I didn't quite understand it. I just knew I needed to have fermentation. And this is before we even knew much about it and how it affects the microbiome. But it's, I call it miracle in a jar, because it really was a miracle in my life when I started to focus on something that's been around forever. Like this is how they used to preserve their foods, right? And just that practice probably saved so many people a long time ago, but with all the modern inventions, it just kind of goes by the wayside. But thank goodness it has made, with everybody talking about the microbiome, has come back, and people have been finally, you can actually go to Costco now and get some fermented cabbage, which before.
Yeah, you can get, what is it?
Like,
what
it's
is
the
it?
live,
we just got
the
some.
kimchi
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And, it's like, you couldn't find that in the stores ever before, but it's really just coming back to right there. I call it miracle in a jar, because it was a miracle in my recovery path to getting back my health.
And that's why I love your conferences, because you have cooking classes and you have people there making bread and sharing so much about food and fermentation and all that you do. I love it. And we can't hide from the biohacking. So this isn't a hate on biohacking. This is just an awareness that should really come second to what we're doing in our kitchen. But that's only because that's what I preach and that's how I live. So yeah, I agree with you. And
and those things can definitely enhance, right? I mean,
Yes.
red light therapy can enhance
Yes.
the healing process. Shockwave can enhance
Yes.
HBOT can enhance the healing process. And you know what? If you can do things that help enhance, that's awesome. But yeah, it does. You like you said, you can't just go to those places and then go to McDonald's afterwards. It just doesn't work that way, right?
Amen. That is exactly the point that I think is being driven home, and I'm so grateful for that.
So what are some of the things that you think are, I mean, besides we live in a toxic soup, what are some of the things you think in a certain nervous system that cause it to kind of burn out, cause it to say, okay, I'm just done? Do you think it's because it's fighting so much against all these ills in the world, if you want to say?
I think it could, but let's understand the anatomy of the nervous system, which is detailed here in this big pen. So, quite simply, if this is the nerve in the body, and obviously this is a nerve, this is the myelin sheath. So the outside is that myelin sheath, and that black little ink is the nerve. Well, there's a couple things that destroy the myelin sheath and a couple things that then destroy the nerve. And the things that destroy the myelin sheath is the number one culprit is sugar. And so when people eat sugar, they eat grain, they eat dairy, they're literally able to destroy their myelin sheath. Now, I will say that the myelin sheath is made of oil and fats. So the healthier the fats, the stronger the myelin sheath. So when we're using,
Which
fresh
we've
product,
also been slammed to get belt for a long time, right?
yes, exactly. And so people they're, is your olive oil really olive oil? I don't know. It might not be because there's a lot of, I know people probably don't know, the mafia moved into the food industry many decades ago. And so we have so much research out there showing you that some of the olive oils you've been thinking were olive oil are not olive oil. The honey isn't always honey. So making sure that we get from the source, hemp seeds and walnuts and chia seeds and, all of our great omegas and our fresh cost fish, which hopefully is somewhat okay, and your olive oil and your avocados. But looking for ways to build that myelin sheath is really important. But the number one thing to do is don't destroy it, because it's one thing to build the myelin sheath, but it's really easy to destroy it by eating sugar. And I actually just had a guest here who was here for quite some time, and she was on her healing journey. And she's actually from Utah and works for the largest school out there that starts with a B. And it was interesting because she doesn't work there anymore, but she was in charge of a lot of ordering. And I asked her at one point, and she ordering for all sorts of things and different events, but she said that it was amazing to listen to how much sugar is consumed in colleges, and even just that college alone, but to look at what colleges all over the world, and all over the country, I should say, are feeding our students is harmful to even hear about, because I'm like, what are we doing to their nervous system? We are destroying the nervous systems while they're out there trying to get a good study, trying to meet their deadlines, trying to work to support themselves and pay for school, whatever they're doing. And we are just literally consumers of crap, and our taste buds are
It's
so
okay
off.
because they just need to take an energy drink and then they'll be fine. They'll have the energy.
Or they just need to bless it ahead of time that it will nourish
Strengthen
their
their body.
bodies.
Yeah, exactly. I know someone asked you, are you ever asked to pray at a church event? I said, I hope not, because I've done it twice and they probably never want me back again, because I'm like, how do you pray over a bunch of Fritos or half the crap that they're feeding at the buffet?
I always would joke with the young man, because you always have treats for this
Yes.
stuff. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, I'm like, don't bless it to nourish and strengthen your body, because it's not going to. If you bless it, that's
You do it
fine.
for
But don't
things.
bless it to nourish and strengthen. I know God's a God of miracles, but there's a point.
You might be stretching it on that one. That's right. So I think it's just the knowledge, just the awareness, just the awareness is what's happening. And it's exciting to see.
Well, it totally affects, when you affect the nervous system, it affects everything, right? It affects hormones, fatigue, inflammation. It affects so many different things if you look at like the autoimmune diseases, right? It's basically the same 10 symptoms. It
Yep.
really is. That's why
Yep.
that's why it really is hard for some people to figure out what's going on with them, because they all have the same crappy symptoms, right? And that's why it becomes a hard thing to deal with. So what are some of the things that you think are the most important to try to just basic things that people can do? We talked a little bit about fermented vegetables and gut health, but kind of explain a little bit more of what things that you're doing out there at Lilly Fields and things like that to help.
Well, the things we've seen, and it's really cool, and I could pull up a couple they're just shorts, not even a couple seconds long, to show you that you are able to change your diet and change your life in days. And that's why I love showing these videos, because they're super cool. But we had people come, and they come from all different diets, all different walks of life, all over the world, by the way. We have people that come from here from all over the world. I think I'm the only person who had 24 Russians in her house, feeding them dinner and breakfast and lunch and dinner for 10 or 15 days. It was super, super fun. But check this out. So this is the blood.
So now you're buddies with Putin, huh?
He is not a bad anyhow, here we go. So this is blood from a woman who's living in a mold environment. You can see that's a gut toxin there. You can see how unhealthy her blood cells look. Lots of bacteria, lots of ickies, right? This is literally 10 days later. Are you
Okay,
ready?
so for those people that are not, can you kind of describe a little bit of what
You
they
bet.
see? Because
You bet.
there's some people
So
that are
now
just
you're
so
looking at that, and they're all like not clumped together. They're separated.
There's nothing on the outside
They're
of
round.
the cells. They're round. Yeah.
Yep,
Before, the other one had jagged edges.
So go back to the other one first, so people can see
You
that
bet.
again. So
You
for
bet.
those people who are watching this on YouTube, you can see she's got a
Yeah,
video.
look at that. That's a gut toxin. None of the cells are formed correctly. We have a lot of bacteria. We've got mold in there. We've got candida. And that just look awful.
So
And like
how many
literally,
days was she there, Karen?
she was with us. She was with us for 7 days. This is after day 7
So
of just changing her diet.
people can change that quickly, isn't
Yeah,
that
quick.
amazing?
Oh, you should. Yeah, we love it because we have the H-bot. We have a bunch of fun toys. But I mean, we keep it limited. But we have the red light. We have the H-bot. We have the live blood cell microscopy. A lot of PMF equipment, and it is amazing to see what happens before and after even just 2 days of eating well and using the H-bot. People don't realize that every single day they can change their health for the better or for the worse, depending on the choices they make when it comes to food. So when you ask what are the most important things, water. People don't drink water. They run to these ridiculous little drive-in theater things that have like sugar waters and multiple flavors and toxins and mold because you're drinking coffee, which is full of mold, unless you get a mold-free coffee. Or coffee substitutes, and you need to be aware that the water they're using isn't some clean, unless they're like dropping 40 grand when they open on a water system. You're just getting tap water, which is already something that's so polluted no one should consume it. So you really do need to be careful of the milks that you're buying, even your new, almond milks and, pistachio milks and walnut milks and oat milks. You don't, oh, it says filtered water. What does that mean to you? Through a Brita? Through like a coffee filter? Like, how filtered is that water? So really being more aware that water and really clean water is probably the number one place people can start, because water is a conductor of electricity, and all you actually need to exist is minerals, right? You need minerals and vitamins, because vitamins are your cofactors for your minerals, and some biophotons. And so plants, when we eat organic plants, and we avoid some of the toxins that are being sprayed on the plants. So water and then really healthy vegetation are huge. I'd have no problem with people eating dead animals, but they really need to be careful of where we have a dead animal, half a cow sitting in our new freezer, but we bought it from our family farm in Arkansas, because the Arms have beautiful farms out there, and they're grass fed and grass finished, and they're amazing. And they sing to their cows on 1,600 acres. I've been there. And so I think just being more aware and which we are. Oh, look at the world. The world's waking up. They're waking up everywhere right now. There are protests all over the world against food, against EMFs, against what's going on with the AI centers, against with everything because people realize that this is not healthy and this isn't normal. So just our little own protests in our own kitchen can be, let's drink more water, let's do more vegetables, let's clean up our meat,
It's crazy because even one of our sponsors, we just saw a thing that she's been in Italy, and she's like, how come I can eat all this stuff in Italy and yet I can't eat it here,
Yep.
And it's because they have, which is crazy because they're not always the best on a lot of stuff, but they are really good on they never let a lot of the crap get infiltrated into their system.
Nope, and they still don't. A lot of countries are right up there with them. They won't. But that's the cool thing about the internet too, is people can see, here's a list of ingredients from our McDonald's, and here's a list of ingredients for your McDonald's here in America, guys, right? And here's your ketchup, and here's this, and here's that. So obviously there's an awareness, which is wonderful, and some of the bigger companies are attempting to make some changes, but it's too late for a lot of people who've been filling their bodies with this for so long. Now they're at a point where they have to detoxify the body. And the easiest way to detoxify the body is to stop putting toxins in. And so just being aware of what we're eating and what we're drinking, what we're putting on our skin.
The simple things, right? The easiest way, that was a great quote. The easiest way to detox is to stop putting the crap in.
I know, it's a great line, isn't it? But I'm like, hey guys, at some point, we actually have to take responsibility. And we are, hello, we're in America. We're a consumer culture. Buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, do this, do that. And again, that's why I want to coin the phrase kitchen hackers, because I'm like, there's so much we can do in the kitchen. Even just walking outside and picking our fresh blueberries and our dill and our cucumbers and our radishes and all of the stuff staying in our garden right now. It's not hard to grow a garden. Even in your apartment, you can grow a garden, because all these amazing people have come up with things like towers, right? And vegetable towers you can use to grow your own lettuce, and you can grow lettuce year round, and arugula and your parsley and your celery and your greens. There's no excuse right now for people to be saying, oh, I can't afford that. And my son went on a mission for the LDS church, and he kept all his receipts from like multiple months, and he put them into a little peanut butter jar, and he sent them to me. And he was like, Mom, just so you know, and it was organic carrots, organic cabbage, and he spent less than any of his companions ever did, because with the exception of the stuff to make his infamous cookies that were all over Florida, right? Because he makes the best cookies ever, right? He was a clean eater. He's like, Mom, you can afford to do this. And that compared to the lady who worked with us for many years, and she had 4 children, and she did the same thing. She says, Karen, I switched to eating all organic after I heard you talk. She says, we are saving money every single month on our food bill. I'm like, you will, because you won't be drawn to that crappy food. And I don't know how many people come on and talk about the apostat, but can I take a minute really quick to talk about one of my favorite little organs at the base of your brain called the apostat?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes! Okay, good. Good. So
now you're making me feel really stupid.
No, Dr. Shane, no one would consider you stupid. You're one of my faves ever. But the apostat controls your appetite, and it's located at the base of your brain. And it does this by measuring the nutrients in your bloodstream. So if your bloodstream is full of nutrients, then your appetite turns off and your appetite turns off. That's why you can eat an organic apple and you're like full, or a salad, which weighs what, 8 ounces, 12 ounces. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't eat another bite. But you can eat a Big Mac and you're starving, right? And you're still hungry. You got to get the super size and the French fries and this, because you can either fill your body with nutrients and turn off your appetite, or you can fill your body with fat and weight. So your stomach has to expand and expand and expand until you can't fit anything else in there, even though there's no nutrients in there. And now you're full, right? But you're only full until some of it tries to get out, and then you're hungry again because you don't have nutrients in your bloodstream. So you can either fill your body with nutrient dense food, such as your fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, right? Your grains and your beans. And we are not big on grain, by the way. We hardly eat any grain in our home. You never eat a bite of grain when you're here during retreat or during healing. We were not made to live off of grain.
So are you referring to like all grains, like rice and everything like that
All
as well?
grain. Yeah, rice is probably the worst. That's probably has the highest sugar content of any grain on the planet. And when I went to Taiwan and was doing all my testing there, 100% of the people I tested had candida and had a sugar overgrowth. 100%, because they eat so much rice. Just change to quinoa. It's
Yeah,
so
there's
much more
cultures that's
flavorful
all
anyways.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And a
that's
lot
really
of Asian.
surprising.
Mhm. Yeah, and so switching to the quinoa, millet, buckwheat, and it's fun because I make millet, quinoa, and buckwheat all the time. All of our people who come here eat that, and they're like, they had no buckwheat bread is fantastic, and you don't need much because you're completely full. Millet, it's a seed, but it's loaded with nutrients, and you don't need much, and it's super, super, super cheap because it's 1 cup of millet to 4 cups of water, right? So if you're looking to replace your morning oatmeal, yeah, get rid of the oats, which are completely nutritionally useless to the human body. Useless. Oats are useless to the body. But millet is not. Buckwheat is not. And so buckwheat grits, there you go. Do that. You're going to feel full and have a lot of nutrients in the body. Millet, very nutritious, but quinoa is always a staple. So I think it's just getting people to be, helping people understand that there's food that Americans have been told, that this is what we eat, but there's so much more that we've not been exposed to because, again, there's not a lot of money in healthy people. And don't worry about that. Dr. Watt, everyone needs their chiropractor, no matter what, because they all actually move in a day. And so we all do something stupid when we bend things over or lift something, and we all need to be by you once a month. But yes, the nutrient part of it is controlled by the app.
The thing that I sit there and look at too is like, gluten-free is huge right now. But the problem is the gluten-free can be so unhealthy for you too. And you just talked about bringing in these other things that are gluten-free, but most of the time people are not going to these types of resources like you just named.
Well, the whole gluten-free industry was hijacked basically by sugars, right? Because it tasted like cardboard, and so they had to figure out how to make it. Like, we were at an event and someone said, I came to learn gluten-free information. I think I left with diabetes. And
Yes.
it's kind of a true thing because everything was so sugared to make it so it had a little bit of taste, right?
Well, and starch, tapioca starch, potato starch. They're all using starches that are just turned into sugar. And so, of course, they're going to have candida and cancer overgrowth and feed their parasites because they're eating sugar. Yes, it's definitely been hijacked. And I will say they're rogue, but there's a couple companies coming out now that are making gluten-free products with actual organic millet flour and buckwheat flour. Like, buckwheat is 100% gluten-free and 100% great for you. So you can get an organic buckwheat bread and cinnamon and raisin. You have 4 ingredients. That's it, right? Water, buckwheat, cinnamon, and raisins, and it tastes amazing. So I think there are some, grassroots efforts by some of the companies, but they're fighting Goliath, who's out there with sugar, taste, fast, instant. And that's a hard one. So read your labels, everyone, or just go back to being simple. Just eat for breakfast, one of my favorite breakfasts, and I don't eat 3 meals a day, usually I only eat 2, but if I wake up hungry, then I will do like cabbage and carrots and some green onion sauteed a little bit and some grass-fed butter and some salt and a bunch of spices. I'm a spice fanatic. Yum, right? Salads, smoothies are still amazing. Do you know, oh my gosh, I figured this out. It was 40 years ago. I'm 58. It was 40 years ago that I had my first green drink. is that the coolest thing ever or what? I'm like, oh my gosh. And I remember I said it at your last convention that I spoke at, because it was just in April. That's when I figured it out. I think I even figured it out on stage that day. But I was like, wait a minute. I remember changing my diet back then when I was 18, 19, and 20. And I tasted my first green drink, started changing my diet. And when I was 20, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for a while. I might do this the rest of my life. So when I'm old, like 50, I can stand on a stage and say, hey, this works. So now I'm 58. So I guess I'm considered old, but I'm not. And I'm like, this works. I went through menopause, didn't even know it. I didn't have a single hot flash, ladies, and my body works fine. I can lubricate well. I say that openly because a lot of people think you can't do anything normal again after you go through all this, but you can. Your body will continue to work beautifully, but you are built out of vitamins and minerals, right? Biophotons, all these cofactors that work together to build all your proteins and all your enzymes and everything's built in the body. So what building blocks are you showing up to your construction site with? If you get a bunch of lumber delivered and right, okay, that's great, and a bunch of metal, but if you don't have nails and screws and hammers and screw guns and all those things and tape and whatever, then you can't build the body, and your body is literally built out of what you're putting into it. So thank God you have a bone, right? You have a structural system. But are you feeding it? Your bones are alive. That's how you get stronger bones, with electricity. The vibrational frequency of calcium is what triggers the red blood cells in the bone marrow to make stronger bones. It's frequency, which is why we also have to be careful of our electrical environment, which was the other thing I wanted to mention. So yeah, water and minerals and vitamins, all that. But electrically, we need to discharge. We need to touch the earth and go in the river and go in the stream and discharge. And you can't discharge in a big community anymore. I remember I drove up through, not Sundance, beautiful area in Utah. We went and visited some friends who live there, and it's all fancy, and it looks like something out of a movie that's not real, but it was.
You're talking like Midway up in
Yeah,
area,
yeah, those areas up there. But I was like, the electricity up there, you can't ground. There's no possible way that you can go barefoot outside and get well. You can't. There's so much stray electricity in those big environments, and in any subdivision really at this point. There's so much stray electricity because in America we never changed our Y system when it comes to electricity, and in Europe we did. They did change the Y system, so we actually dump a lot of dirty electricity into the ground, and people aren't ground. They're not able to ground and get well. I actually, when I traveled in 22 in my RV looking for where to open up the retreat center, and I have this video. I haven't made it public yet. I probably should now. The time is now, but I actually stopped and I recorded.
I remember that RV.
Yeah,
I remember when you're like, hey, we're gonna go cruise around.
That's right. It's coming to Utah because I'm coming to help my daughter when she has her twins. But so we're coming in the RV. But it was interesting because I shot video of me standing barefoot next to like windmills. Are you kidding? I was electrocuting my body, something phenomenal. It was much safer to be outside in rubber shoes than barefoot. And I did that all over the country. So it is very interesting how electrically we are being charged, and at night, and I've known this because I've had so many of my clients report, and the farmers here reporting that their animals, their cows, actually go under the shelter of a metal roof at night now. They've been, for the last couple of years, they've been going at night under a metal roof to protect them because they're being electrocuted. They're like, something's going on electrically. And sure enough, and you can find all of these people reporting it now with meters, there is like, they release and they increase the electromagnetic microwaves that we're being exposed to at night while we're sleeping. And funny enough, some of them are showing it's from 9/11 until 9/11, but you know, timing is everything, I guess, numbers. But looking at that 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning when everyone's waking up and everybody's feeling terrible and everyone's getting angry because they're not sleeping and everyone's having these sleep problems, we are literally, it's all being induced, the brain fog, all the crappy feelings, like we are in a microwave. So we do need to learn to protect our cells. And so using chlorella, making sure we have enough greens in our system, because that's what strengthens that wall. Iodine, those are very important things. Spirulina, to strengthen the cell membranes so we can exist in a very electrical environment is huge. And then getting a grounding pad, because it's much safer to ground yourself sitting on a grounding pad or using a grounding sheet than it is being outside. Just make sure that you have the device to measure if your electricity is actually grounded, because a lot of bedrooms and even in hotels, some of them aren't grounded properly. So always test before you plug yourself in somewhere.
Well, now you scared the crap out of all of us.
Give you hope. Remember chlorella, spirulina, iodine. Get a grounding sheet, get a grounding pad, make your salads. Come to the April 2027 salad dressing demonstration. Wow, we are advertising really ahead. So there's no excuse for you guys not showing up for my salad dressing class.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, that's what I said from the very beginning. I mean, we could literally talk with Karen on anything, and she could just, I mean, how many different topics have we had just in this one little thing? I don't even know what we're going to be able to name this because it has too many things. But that's basically because, I mean, you've done the research, you've done the homework, you've lived it, you've tested it, and it's stuff that you're doing with people just to try to help get well. And that's what's so awesome about what you're doing and everything else like that. It's incredible. It really is. And there's so much more that we could discuss, but we've probably overloaded a whole bunch of, I know my brain's overloaded, trying to think, oh crap, yeah, I need to do that. I need to do that better. I need to do that better, because we get in these, I mean, even though we still eat not as well as we should. There's still things that we need to do better. And it just, stuff like this just kind of helps remind you, and that's kind of what we need. Just a little reminder to say, hey, you know what? Just do a little bit better. Just try a little bit more, do a little bit better, because that's all we can.
Well, I'm just thinking about today. I'm like, I don't know the last time that I just went and made me a green drink, because I used to do it every single morning, and it just has been a little bit of getting out of a little bit of a habit.
Well, you get on different waves, right? It's like, okay, now we're gonna try this, and then it's like.
Well, and I know, like with me right now, one of the things that I'm struggling with is keeping in my electrolytes, and I feel like if I don't keep up my electrolytes, then all of a sudden my body starts cramping and things like that. So I have been just totally focused on making sure that I have my electrolyte, every once or twice a day.
Drinks and
well, the Realites, or I actually just got some stuff where I can compound my own electrolytes because I want to know what's in it. Because even though some of these things say that they are healthy for you, I'm like, I'm just going to get my own ingredients and make my own electrolyte drink and put a squeeze of lemon in there and stuff like that, So it's like I'm trying to always do things to be better, but then on the other side,
we're not eating the fermented vegetables nearly as much as we used to. I mean, it's dumb. We know what to do, and yet it's just easy. You kind of get off track a little bit.
Well, I am terribly sorry.
Thanks for the reminder.
I do not mean to make anybody feel guilty by any means. This is supposed to be inspirational, not overwhelming. But yes, it is. You have 2 ingredients to make sauerkraut: cabbage and salt, and it takes about 20 minutes, right? Unless you're making a 5-gallon pail, which I do, and that takes about an hour. But it is just we need to inspire each other. We really do, because we only have each other. We really do. We really have each other. And I love that the world has come to that. Like, we are looking to each other for support. And we're looking to each other to find what's best and to get rid of what we've been told is the truth about X, Y, and Z. So I think coming together when it comes to diet and health is going to be very important, because how do I say this? You can be so much better used by God when you are not checking your phone to see if you got to take your medication at 10, 11, 1, 3, you got to take this at 4, you got to go to this doctor's appointment, you got to watch this, then how available are you for a download from God? If you're so obsessed with your own health or your mother's health and when you're so obsessed with medications and blah, 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 how much
you don't feel good too, Karen,
no,
right? When you don't feel well, you can't even think outside of yourself when you don't feel good. And I know that's how it was with me. It's like there's living life, but there's actually experiencing life. And all of us live life, but how many of us actually experience life? And when we don't feel well, we're just living life. We're not experiencing it.
Yeah, there's my chiropractor in Cedar City. He had, Dr. Biggs was his name. He has a sign and it says, "A healthy man has many wishes, a sick man has one." And I have that, I actually made that sign and it's above our checkout counter because it's the same thing. Like we can. So I'm just here to inspire you all to go get more vegetables. Please make sure they're organic or support. And if I will say support your farmer's market, but please ask your local farmers what they're spraying. They will probably tell you everything they're spraying. And then you go to the next booth because you don't want to eat. Hello. The side dishes, herbicide, pesticide, larvicide, insecticide. What are they designed to do? Kill a nervous system. They're designed to kill the living nervous system of the insects or the herbs. So why the heck are we putting that, oh, I caught myself. Why the heck are we putting that in our bodies? Like, why would we consider eating anything sprayed with an insecticide or a pesticide? So yes, that means all strawberries. And so like, just look at the world around you and be like, who is designing and doing what and how much do they care about my health? So it might be time to order a garden tower. I don't even sell them, by the way. I'm just telling you. It might be time to do a couple more things just for your health, because you are worth it. You guys are worth it. And your children, that's where your legacy is inside those wombs, right? Your legacy is in the testes of the young men that you call sons. And your legacy and your what you're leaving the world is going to be in those wombs of the girls that are just born. And if their eggs are already unhealthy because they're sitting with a laptop on their crotch when they're 2 years old, we have a problem. So becoming aware and then doing something, that's what we're supposed to do for each other, is help uplift each other and inspire each other and be in service. Because there's a great quote. Dr. Mike just called me this morning, one of my dearest friends. He's a chiropractor, by the way. Anyhow, and he said, Karen, service is the rent we pay to live on earth. Isn't that cool? Like, serve each other by sharing, serve each other by inspiring, serve each other by loving, serve each other by someone come and make Liz a green drink, for Pete's sake, serve her. But like, and you don't need, I don't do sweets. I don't do sugar. I really don't. Sometimes I'll add a half a banana in my green drink, but I make them with avocados. I put a half avocado in my green drink in the morning and it tastes amazing. So just keep looking, just keep researching, because you're all worth it. You are all worth it. And I will say, I do speak on a lot of topics. I am on podcasts all around the world, almost every single day of my life right now. And so I might be in Italy in the morning and Spain at night or anywhere. It's just, so I have a bunch of them on a Facebook page, but it's all going to be uploaded to YouTube. But if you go to ZuZu Unleashed, it's just where we put a bunch of our podcasts. You don't have to comment or follow. But you can grab those, and then they're all being uploaded to a YouTube page. Just so you know, I'm not going to stop anytime soon.
So
basically what you're saying is we're honored to have you on our podcast.
No,
because you are so famous.
No, I'm just going to be on your podcast anytime you call, because you're two of my faves ever, because I love what you do.
So you said that you put on there that you wanted to offer our audience something.
Sure, happy to offer your audience something. So we have, I have a couple free ebooks that I have on my page on ZuZuUnleashed.com. But for you, I would love to offer you the 4-hour Empowered course for free. And that was hundreds of dollars when we did them in person. And so I will send you a code. You can just tell me the code you want and we'll put that in, and then you can get all your listeners that 4 hours for free.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's like,
why don't we do like ZuZu? We'll do ZuZu Health.
Yeah. Okay. We'll drop it in the.
We'll figure it out. But probably like ZuZu Health, and then that will be free to be able to get that.
Is that if they go to your website? That's just they just have to plug that in. Is that how it works?
Yeah. What I'll send you the link and the code, and you can put it wherever you advertise this. Okay. And on your webpage if you want, and we'll get people in for that 4 hours. Awesome. Yep.
No, we appreciate it, and we know your time's valuable, so we've gone a little over what we normally do, but you're worth it, so we appreciate it. Worth it. No, we very much appreciate ZuZu and all that she's done, and it's pretty incredible, what she's. And I've misled people, because I said you're kind of creating a natural hospital back in Georgia, but it's more now of a retreat health center kind of thing. Is that what you're?
Yeah, I mean, it was, but what you were saying was right. We had people coming here who would just stay here, and we fed them and took care of them in the HBOT and all the equipment. And that's still, we want to do that. We do need to build a bigger center for that, because when we have 8 or 9 people here for 10 days, it's a tighter quarter. So we are planning additions and all of that. That is going to be coming. So we are still wanting to build that and offer all of that. We are doing some really neat things between fall and spring. I have an amazing business partner. He's been a good friend for about 18 years. He owns prominent businesses in the health industry. And so we're combining efforts, and we're going to be doing some really cool things that we'll be telling people about over the next next 8 months or so. But until then, right now, yeah, we're going to go back to the retreats. And what we're doing is transformational retreats. So it's cooking classes every day, health classes every day, and then mind classes. We work very closely with Fly. Free Life Yourself with Lamont Wilcox. He's probably my favorite course in NLP and in working with the brain. How he has worked with people has just, I mean, it's within 5 hours your life has changed, period. Within an hour it is. But the results have been so astronomical for our students, for our staff, and for our clients that we actually are bringing, he and his facilitators will actually be a very integral part in all of our retreats moving forward. And it really took a year of doing the high intensity clinical retreats for me to realize that wasn't what I wanted to do. Way too stressful, way too many, not enough learning. So they had to go home, and if they went home but they didn't have the red lights and all this and that and boo 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 boo, then what could they do when they went home? They became dependent on it, and that's not how life should be. Life is dependent on the brain and on the microbiome. That's really where your body's going to start healing, and so that's what we're doing.
Well, once again, we want to thank ZuZu for all that she's doing in the world of helping us to all be healthy. So not just Be Healthy Utah, but be healthy worldwide. So thank you so much. You are awesome, and we appreciate your time. So thanks very much.
Well, just say what is just the last in. Tell us what your website is again, and what's your Instagram and Facebook handle,
Sure.
and where they can find you.
ZuZuUnleashed.com is the website. It's getting a upgrade over the next couple of weeks. It's fine right now. You'll still get links to everything. But I guess our tech guy's like, oh, we need to make it like a portal, whatever that means, whatever. I don't do any of it. And then I am opening up an Instagram page, and that'll be where I get to post just personally. Because right now I don't post anywhere. And so I would like to be posting personally. And then we're doing some kind of a group page on our Facebook at Lilly Field Center. So if you do follow anything on Facebook, you could do Lilly Field Center, although that really has to do with a lot of just the Lilly Fields, but that group that we're going to be opening up will be where we do a lot of information, a lot of education. So.
Well, you have some other websites too, don't you, in terms of the classes?
Yep, Holistic Health Educators. Yeah, Holistic Health Educators, that's our big thing. That's our school. And we actually do career fairs. We just had one this weekend. And we attract, thousands of people from around the world. Probably a third of our students are medical doctors and nurses right now because they are very much aware that they need more and people are looking for more and asking more. So 2/3 of our clients and our students are just like you. They're just normal human beings, 16 to 80 some years old, and they just want to learn how the body works and teach others. And then a third are medical. And it's been really amazing. This last career fair, we had a phenomenal amount of medical personnel there, including doctors. And they, at the end, one of the female doctors came off and she's like, this has been missing the entire time. She said, it was like almost, we were brought to tears because she's like, had I known any of this, had I just known, it was just really cool. So I think if you're looking for.
Did you have that there in Georgia?
We have it online. It's online. So we do those career fairs. We do them every month. We are doing an evergreen series though. So people will be able to pay their $47 for the career fair and be able to start right away. We're working on that this minute. We have people working on that so they can just jump right in. It's really cool, Shane. And we've all been waiting for this moment when the world is completely waking up and wanting to be better and do better. So I'm really excited about where we are. Really am. And I pray for anybody in the medical world who's not aware of this. Please just open up your mind a little bit because we are here to help. And I think probably some of my favorite times I've worked with people is when a medical doctor comes in with their daughter and is like, I can't help this thyroid and I don't want to remove it. What do I do? And I'm like, this is the other part of the world you simply don't know. And we've been able to help a lot. And so I think working together, we need to. We need Western care. We need some of the diagnostics. We need emergency medicine. We need some of the surgeries, not all by any means, but it is just I think it's a great time to see Western and Eastern medicine bridging for good. I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Karen, for being on. We appreciate all that you've shared, and go visit her and her website, look at everything that she has to offer, and then look also in the show notes because we will put the ZuZu Health and the link
code and everything,
and so that you can go there and get what she's offering our audience. And it's all about empowering ourselves, and that's what we do with our conference. It's knowledge, empower, and elevate. And I really believe that was inspired to us is what the basis of our conference is, because the more knowledge you have, the more you will be empowered to make the choices you need, and because of that, your life will be elevated. And that's what you've done with us today, so thank you.
Oh, I love you both so much.
Oh, we love you. All right. Have a wonderful day.
Your health journey is between you and your healthcare providers.
So remember, this podcast is for educational purposes only.
To stay up to date, visit us at BeHealthyUtah.com.
And please subscribe to our newsletter, where we give additional health information, health tips, as well as recipes.
Thank you to our 2026 sponsors.
We truly could not do this without them.